티나쌤의 한글톡. Hello everyone, I'm Tina, your Korean teacher. Today, I'm going to teach you how to introduce yourself in Korean in just 10 minutes. We'll learn how to say your name, nationality, and job. If you master just these 3 things, you can confidently introduce yourself in Korean anywhere. And if you'd like more detailed lessons, check out my previous YouTube Can Speak Korean videos. Ready? Let's begin! First, listen carefully. 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. 제 이름은 패티예요. 저는 호주 사람이에요. 제 직업은 선생님이에요. Let's listen again. 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. 제 이름은 패티예요. 저는 호주 사람이에요. 제 직업은 선생님이에요. When you meet someone for the first time, you can say 만나서 반갑습니다. This means I'm happy to meet you. It makes the first meeting less awkward and gives a good impression. To someone older or a person you meet for the first time, you can say 만나서 반갑습니다. But to someone around your age, 만나서 반가워요. To someone younger or to kids, 만나서 반가워. In business or formal settings, you might also hear 처음 뵙겠습니다, which is a shorter, more formal version of nice to meet you for the first time. Perfect for events, meetings, or interviews. Here's a tip. When you say this, try slightly bowing your head. It makes your greeting sound even more polite. Alright, let's practice everything we've learned so far. Repeat after me. 만나서 반갑습니다. 만나서 반가워요. 만나서 반가워. 처음 뵙겠습니다. Great job! To say your name in Korean, you can use this pattern. 제 이름은 이에요, 예요. You can also say 저는 이에요, 예요. Both are correct, so you can choose whichever feels easier. Now here's an easy rule to remember. If your name ends with a final consonant, in Korean we call it 받침, use 이에요. If your name ends with a vowel, so no 받침, use 예요. Let's look at some examples. First, Patty. Does T have a 받침? No, it doesn't, so we use 예요. 제 이름은 Patty예요. Or you can also say 저는 Patty예요. Now, Michael. Does cool have a 받침? Yes, it does. The consonant 리을. So we can use 이에요. 제 이름은 마이클이에요. 저는 마이클이에요. So now you know how to say your name in Korean. But in a real conversation, you also want to ask the other person's name, right? When you want to ask someone's name, say 이름이 뭐예요? It means what's your name in English. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. 이름이 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요? Good. Now that you've learned how to ask someone's name, let's practice a short conversation using both the question and the answer. I'll give your name and we'll practice together. Ready? Let's go. First example, 제니퍼. No 받침, right? Here we go. 이름이 뭐예요? 제 이름은 제니퍼예요. 저는 제니퍼예요. Next, 김사랑 with 받침. Here we go. 이름이 뭐예요? 제 이름은 김사랑이에요. 저는 김사랑이에요. And one more, 호세, no 받침. Here we go. 이름이 뭐예요? 제 이름은 호세예요. 저는 호세예요. Great job! Now you can both introduce yourself and ask for someone else's name in Korean. Let's learn how to say your nationality in Korean. In Korean, you just add the word 사람 after the country name. It's super easy. Let me give you some examples. If you take 한국 and add 사람, you get 한국 사람. If you take 일본 and add 사람, you get 일본 사람. If you take 미국 and add 사람, you get 미국 사람. So when you introduce yourself, you can say 저는 한국 사람이에요. Repeat after me. 저는 한국 사람이에요. Next, 저는 일본 사람이에요. Repeat after me. 저는 일본 사람이에요. Next, 저는 미국 사람이에요. Repeat after me. 저는 미국 사람이에요. Here's an important expression, 은는. In Korean, 은는 comes right after the subject and shows what the topic of the sentence is. It's like saying, this is what I'm going to talk about now. Please remember this rule. If the noun ends with a final consonant 받침, we use 은. If the noun ends with a vowel, we use 는. Examples. If the name is Michael, it ends with a final consonant, we say 마이클은. Repeat after me. 마이클은 한국 사람이에요. If the name is Jennifer, it ends with a vowel, we say 제니퍼는. Repeat after me. 제니퍼는 미국 사람이에요. Let's keep going. Now that you know how to use 은는 with names and nationalities, let's learn how to ask about someone's nationality. In Korean, to ask which country are you from, we say 어느 나라 사람이에요? Repeat after me. 어느 나라 사람이에요? 어느 나라 사람이에요? Great! Now let's practice with some examples. Let's practice a short conversation using both the question and the answer. I'll give your name and we'll practice together. Remember to use 은는 correctly. Ready? Let's go! First example, 루이스, no 받침. Here we go. 어느 나라 사람이에요? 루이스는 캐나다 사람이에요. Second example, 아르tit, with 받침. Here we go. 어느 나라 사람이에요? 아르티스는 태국 사람이에요. Third example, 아멜리아, no 받침. Here we go. 어느 나라 사람이에요? 아멜리아는 독일 사람이에요. Great! Now let's learn how to talk about your job. In Korean, to say your job, you can say 제 직업은 이에요, 예요. Or simply 저는 이에요, 예요. Here are some examples. 제 직업은 선생님이에요. 저는 선생님이에요. Now let's learn how to ask about someone's job. To ask what's your job in Korean, say 직업이 뭐예요? Repeat after me. 직업이 뭐예요? 직업이 뭐예요? Alright, let's practice. I'll tell you your job. Let's make the question and the answer together. First example. 의사, no 받침. Here we go. 직업이 뭐예요? 저는 의사예요. Second example. 학생, with 받침. Here we go. 직업이 뭐예요? 저는 학생이에요. Third example, 주부, no 받침. Here we go. 직업이 뭐예요? 저는 주부예요. Now let's learn one more useful expression before we wrap up. We use 이가 to show who or what is the subject in the sentence. Look at the picture. Who is the singer? 누가 가수예요? 누가? Right. 영호예요. Repeat. 영호가 가수예요. Who is the student? 누가 학생이에요? 누가? Right. 제인이에요. Repeat. 제인이 학생이에요. Please remember this rule. If the word ends with a final consonant 받침, we use 이. If it ends with a vowel, no 받침, then we use 가. Let's make it together. I'll give you the keyword and we'll create the question and answer using 이가. First example. 마이클, 의사. Here we go. 누가 의사예요? 마이클이 의사예요. Second example. 사라, 주부. Here we go. 누가 주부예요? 사라가 주부예요. Great job! Now you can use name, nationality, job, and 이가. Next, let's connect everything and build your self-introduction. To help you, let's first listen again to the short dialogue we heard at the very beginning of today's lesson. 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. 제 이름은 패티예요. 저는 호주 사람이에요. 제 직업은 선생님이에요. Now that you've learned all the expressions, you should be able to understand it without extra explanations. So this time, I'll ask you some questions to check your understanding. Ready? 이름이 뭐예요? 패티예요. Repeat after me. 제 이름은 패티예요. 어느 나라 사람이에요? Great. 호주 사람이에요. Repeat after me. 저는 호주 사람이에요. 직업이 뭐예요? 선생님이에요. Repeat after me. 제 직업은 선생님이에요. Great! Now it's your turn. Using today's expressions, introduce yourself in Korean, your name, nationality, and job. It's okay if it's short. It's okay if it's not perfect. I love reading your introductions in the comments. See you next time. 안녕!